Alright guys, so this is day 3 of the alpha test of Godforge, a game from Fateless Studios. I'm your boy Russian, and this is Broke Not Dead Godforge Edition. Alright, so today we're gonna do something a little bit more fun to a lot of the guys. We're gonna look at some of the mechanics of the game. We're gonna be looking at some of the champions that you guys need to pay attention on, okay, and the most fear involved with the alpha. Now, there is still time for you guys to join the last wave of the alpha. You just need to go to fateless.gg and subscribe for the beta test, and you should be able to make up to the last wave of the alpha that comes up, I believe, mid-August at some point. Alright, so this being said, let's take a look. So right here are the champions I have as of now. Some of them you probably be thinking, why am I not leveling my new Lego? It's because it is my new Lego, okay? I still have to farm a few things to be able to get him leveled up. Now, I'm gonna show you guys also is my core team, right? As of right now, just so you guys have an idea, I am all the way up to stage 94, where I'm kind of a little stuck right now. But it's okay, we're gonna move up. But that's where I have to make some hard decisions. So for the most part, since I started playing the game, I've been using a core team. So my main team was Lady Shock. Not saying she's the best champion or not, that's the one I end up starting with. Then I was able to pull Odin at level 30, stage 30. I got him. I also been using Percival, one of the first champions I got as well. Isolde and Hippolyta. So this being pretty much my core team since I started, been carrying me all the way up. I just changed. And I know it sounds like so long ago because it was at stage 80. So stage 80, I was a bit stuck for a while since yesterday afternoon. And then I removed Lady Shock and put all her gear at Achilles. And I start using Isolde in the team and Hippolyta. Also with Odin and Percival. Now, I'm going to explain why. So, by the way, now, when I say about champions pay attention on, I will mostly mention rares, okay? Because rares and epics, basically because some of them can carry you and they're much easier for you to acquire. So, Hippolyta, for example, as I call her, Hip Girl. So, the thing with her is she has, on her A3, she attacks one enemy with all allies from the Olympus faction, and because I do have a couple of them, they join the attack with her. So the other thing with her is the A2 that places a shield in all allies, right? Now if you click on details, you see that the shield is up to 15% her HP. And I'll be honest, shields help so much in this game because a lot of times you get some smackdowns and it hurts a lot. And the most when you're trying to get to the boss and your other enemies are just smacking you down. Plus she gives you ward, what immune to attack damage, and speed up, what boosts your speed stat by 10%. Speed's a lot in this game, by the way. One of the champions that she's really good, but the most reason I use her is her 14% speed on attack battle. So she's been leading a lot of the teams because speed in this game is major. Basically because you have your ultimate attack, so the more turns you get, the more you build up. So it's a huge smackdown or it's a huge healing. So it's very important for you guys to have this as fast as you can, your team as fast as you can, but without taking from other attributes, right? So having her in the team lead a lot of times better than actually having, for example, 20% in attack in all battles. All right, so One thing, so that's a core theme. The thing is also Percival. Percival, the thing with him is he removes all the buffs on his A3 and disables from himself, then attacks one enemy, right? And then on the A2, he plays a Res Up and Radiance 2 on this here for 2 turns and has 50% of place a stun for 1 turn no enemy. So it stops your enemies from smacking you down, and on top of that, allows you to get more turns and build up your ultimate attacks. Now, the thing about ultimate attacks is they keep building per round. What it means, per wave, I should say, in the round. So what happens is a lot of games, like Raid, a lot of times things reset every time you go to a next wave. This doesn't happen, so you're pretty much like build up, even your shields and everything. So if you use something right in the end of a fight, you still carry for the amount of turns you still have. And now, on top of that, if the enemy is aligned with Chaos, increase the chance of place a stun. And that's really good. He also, a lot of times, will do extra attacks every time one of the allies attacked. So, very, very, very good champion. Okay? Anyway, so now, because I'm stuck at level 94, that's where I'm going to have to start farming and getting Horus up and change Hippolyta. Now, it's kind of a question I have to ask because his shield works a little different because his shield has to do with defense and not HP. So in the end of the day, I have to see which one gonna scale up better. But again, I'm comparing a rare with a legendary, and I'm wondering which one gonna be better. So I don't have to say she's a great champion. So get him up, probably switch and see if I can work better my team. Yeah, and you guys also have to remember I need books to be able to get his abilities higher, something I don't have to worry about her. Plus, and that's where we're going to start touching in some of the mechanics of the game. Okay? So one of the things are awakenings. So awakenings is what allow us to get our champions even higher. Okay, on raids, for example, that would be the awakening of the champion. But the way you do with those is by using copies of your champion. So much easier if you have a rare, right? The thing about this game is you can only use one copy of each champion in a combat. So if I'm already using Horus, I cannot have 2 Horuses running at the same time. So there's really zero need to have copies of your champions, okay, in this game. What I think it's great because it doesn't become like a situation in a lot of games that you have like 5 of the same champion, that's why you get stuck. All right, so in here, so everything gonna add stuff. So the first one, place a defense up on this here for 1 turn, so she already starts with defense up. Then on top of that, with the 2 awakenings, she got initiative higher. Initiative is what builds up your ultimate skill. Then on the 3rd one, place a ward and all allies. The 4th, initial divinity plus 50, so it's already climbing up when she starts for her ultimate. And on 5th, allies front. So you can do that. Now, so you have 2 options. You can use a copy of your champion, or, and we're gonna at the same time jump right after that into weapons. If you guys come in here and you look at gear, right? So I actually have my gear is enhanced. So the way you do is you have imprints, correct? So I already have 1 imprint. Or I should have had. Yeah, I do. So let me say, it has 25% chance to counterattack when this hero receives a debuff or a disable. So I'm gonna use this imprint. Okay? So I go, you're about to imprint bonk. Already has an imprint because that's the same imprint. So I would confirm, it's not a problem. Now, I have 25% chance to counterattack when I receive a debuff or a disable. So the moment I get something like this, I give an attack. And the reason why I'm doing that is because his first attack actually has a debuff. So continue, perfect. Now, how do you get those imprints? So you can use the imprints for your weapons, okay? Like if I come in here and go to this weapon, for example, I have this imprint, right? Now, I don't want to use, because if I pull this champion, I can use this imprint for him. Okay? So the moment you already awaken your champion as much as you can, you have the option to actually, start using those for weapons. Now, you can use, if you want, for weapon at any time, even if you don't want to use it for the champion itself, but it gives the option. Now, how do you get those imprints? That's what I'm going to show you now. You're going to come to Anvil of Creation. That has my imprint library. Now, let me say I want an imprint right now. I'll come to Extraction. And I'll choose one of my champions. Let me say this guy. I have more than enough for him. And the imprint deals 10% increased damage to enemies under Drain. So I'll come in here and extract. Now, I will lose this champion, but I'll gain imprint that I can put in a weapon, or, because I have a limited space, right, for my champions, I can use that to actually free up space until I decide later on, maybe if I don't have time right now, to go in and actually awaken his soul. So, many ways to do it. Pretty cool, because it's not like you're chasing for it like a maniac in different ways. You can choose where you're going to use the imprint, or you just discard later on. Cool. So, things you can do, okay, with imprints and everything. Waylord Smith, it's kind of the same thing. It just jumps straight to your weapons. Now, let's talk about battles. So, as of right now, we only have Caverns up, okay? Because that's what we're testing right now in the alpha. Now, how does that work? You have two ways to complete this stage. You have one way, you're gonna get 1 star, and it's just pretty much throwing your champions in there, clearing the stage. Now, let me find one I don't have, level 43. I only have 1 star. If you have the rewards you're gonna get just by clearing the stage, right? So, drops, and it shows you armor. You can get heroes, spirits, and armor, and the types you're gonna get. Now, you only gonna get Pauldron armor, right? Now, if I come to stage 44, you're gonna see that I'm gonna be getting gauntlets. So if you need gauntlets, you have specific stages you can go and farm for, instead of just farming and hoping you get a certain drop, what I think is really good. Also, it shows spirits. Spirits are like chickens. So you get chickens, you get heroes, and you get armor. Now, the higher stage you go, and now understand it's not a high chance to get a Lego, okay? But if you come in here, now you have other chances. At 70, you have chances to get legendary armor, helmets, right? But the drop's still up to rare. But if I come to boss stages, what are the even numbers? So I'm going to also show a couple of difference on stages. So stage 70 is a boss battle. So boss battles, you get more stuff, right? So you have spirits all the way up to 3. That's a limit, at least for here. Drops, I can get heroes all the way down to legendary. So if I want to chase heroes, I go and fight all the way to legendaries. Armor, same thing. Now, boss stages will give you random armor. So if you're at some point beginning in some ways and you don't have specific armors you're looking for, you just go to the boss and you're going to get random pieces of armor. And on top of that, it shows the types of armors that drops. Okay, you have the wolf, you have the jaguar, you have the kraken, and they give specific bonuses. Now, the other stages to pay attention on are the fives. So anything that ends with 5. 15, 5, 15, 25, 35. And the reason for that is that's where you're going to get things to actually raise the number of stars of your champion, right? And I'm going to show you this in a second. What is kind of that's the actual awakening level. You have 2 ways to awaken your champions. I'm going to explain. So right here, so you get, Cunning Alchemy. You can get Eternal Alchemy, and that's for each type of champion, right? Like, let me say, if you guys play raids like Magic Alignments, Void, etc. So, and each one of them, if you go like, for example, pull 65, you get 4, you get Strength. So you guys see how that works. All right. So that's what you get. But on top of that, you also, on the ones that are 5s, you have a chance to get legendary heroes, okay? And you also get the stones that you also get the potions that will allow you to level your character without having to run him through dungeons. So, pretty good to know. Everything else, you're going to be more focused, like stage 94, for example. You're going to be getting different things, like steel heroes only go to rare, and then you get armor and spirits, okay? So now that's the other way I need to mention. I should have mentioned before about awakening your champions, and it has to do with awakening, right? Not awakening, sorry. I'm still learning the names. All right, let's go back. So let me say, for example, because I do need to get for her. So I'll come in here and upgrade. And here's where if I had all the champions, and I am building another one, but not for her. But you would come in here and just add, for example, Lead Shock. Well, she's equipped, so just putting here, and then I would get her to 5-star. Okay, so those are chickens right now. But then you have the ascending, okay. And that's where you're going to be using those, right? And for example, coming in here, I will get my passive. All those champions have passives, okay? Her passive, when an allied defender is attacked, heal all allies by 5% of this hero's max HP. So, it only works if you have more than one, okay, defender. But, also good to have. Also, not really expensive. So, I come in here and I ascend. Perfect, beautiful. So, she's ascended to 3, and now she can use her passive. If we're looking here, I have Odin already done. So on the ascent, his ascension is... Well, it's already set up, sorry. So because I already got, I just need to click on abilities, and then it shows right here. Eternal Trickster, when damage is inflicted on an enemy by their allies, steal 10% of the damage, enemy turn meter. Okay, so... Also, another thing, if you make at least one of your champions extremely fast, you're going to help him to actually build his turn meter. So, that's pretty much most of how things work. And let me give you my opinion about the game right now, if that pretty much going to dictate if you guys going to try to go for the alpha or not. This game is, in the most when you look right now, that we only have one area of the game that we can play as of right now, okay? And I've been spending a lot of hours, okay? I've been dedicating my last few days to this game, and I'm actually having fun. Now, I am getting frustrated when I can't go through a stage, but it's on me. I need to farm things. I need to do stuff like this. There are bugs. There are a couple of bugs, to be honest with you guys. I already report the ones I found. They're not game-breaking bugs. For an alpha, and that's wave 1, what it means for wave 2, they probably going to try to have some of the stuff that we found on this wave fixed. it's pretty impressive, to be honest. So yeah, I can see a big future for this game. I've been having a lot of fun playing, and it's only one area, and you have so much stuff locked. Okay, I'm playing Caverns right now, and we have dungeons, arena, bosses, campaign all locked. So I don't need to say if I'm actually enjoying just playing one little area of the game. When the game's out, it's gonna be incredible. Okay, I don't know the dates. I'll be honest. I'll be getting involved, being on alpha, being on beta, and when the game comes out. That's all I can say to you, and that's my honest opinion. Okay. Drop in the comments what you guys think about the game so far. If you guys are involved or not. If you guys are gonna be in the alphas or not. I really appreciate you all being here to the end of the video. And as always, I'll see you in the game.